All right, so discussion time, full of spoilers on Split.
Full spoiler
So
review,
if you don't want to get
discussion,
spoiled, then don't watch anymore.
everything.
I think, okay, I get it. You didn't like parts of it, all right? Especially the ending. Yes, Bruce Willis dies at the end. He's, okay?
They all die!
Yes, they all die, okay? I'm fine. I assumed Split would die. I assumed Glass would die, okay? I get it. I didn't like Bruce dying. I thought it was stupid. I thought maybe his son would take up the mantle or something, or whatever.
That's so dumb.
But I get the whole thing. Like, the whole idea of the story is that it's this whole, it's not just him. He's not the only unbreakable person on the planet. There are other people. Comic books are actually based off of real people. Just, they just added capes to them later on, and they made them fly, and they made them, wear suits and stuff. So I get that this is the actual world, and superheroes do exist, but just a tamer version of it, like you see Bruce Willis and like you see Split and in Glass. I get that, and I kind of liked it. Like, these were the society of people trying to keep them, under watch and make sure the world stays okay. And then
I hated that.
I kind of enjoyed that. I thought
so
it was cool.
stupid.
Well, I was wondering, is he the only one? Why is he unbreakable?
I thought that was dumb. All right.
No,
I'm going to go back to the beginning where initially I was like, what?
Okay.
So Bruce Willis, who's the overseer,
Right, they call him the overseer.
David Dunn.
I like that.
Okay, he sees Split, Kevin, the Beast. Okay, and he touches him in public, and he goes to this warehouse where he has these girls kidnapped. Okay, he goes and finds the girls, and then the Beast shows up, and they have this fight. They fall out of the window, and there's like 1 million police officers and everything with the lights set up to change his personalities. Where did that come from? Instantly?
Well, the whole point was that they were watching these people, and they were watching them because they knew that it was...
Yeah, but it just felt like...
And she even said at the end, hey, we had to intervene on you because this guy showed up. This is only a few weeks after. This is recently after Split.
I know.
So they're prepared. Crap, this guy shows up.
At the end of the movie, I realized, okay. But it just felt like so thrown to...
I will say, jumped into it too quick.
I was like, whoa, hold on a second.
That was my problem with the movie. They jumped into that. Oh, right off the mental
It would have been
institution.
different if it had been like a couple cop cars showed up, and then they fought around for a bit, and then they, I don't know, somebody showed up with like a portable light thing. It just felt like it was so set up, and I was like, okay, whatever. I forgave it, and I continued through the movie.
It needed more time to set up.
Bruce Willis has 5 minutes of screen time? It felt like. He was barely in the movie, I felt like.
So was Samuel Jackson.
He was in the movie for the very beginning, that was like, it started off and it showed his character, and then the whole time in the hospital, nothing.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he just gets, he gets killed. And I'm like, this is...
Well, the whole idea is that they had to kill these people because they're running around and they have to protect the world from that. I got that, and I was fine with that.
I honestly thought for what it was too much. Unbreakable was just supposed to be this this single guy and this comic book villain where it was like, oh, okay, this is something different. It kind of grounded it, and this took it to a level of just ridiculous proportions.
I disagree. I thought it was you're still grounding it in this is real life. These are real people who actually have superpowers, but we do have a society of people that says no, we have to. It's all politicians.
That's when it took it to the level of just.
I thought it was cool. You're adding a little bit more lore because for me, I was wondering the entire time Unbreakable, is he the only person ever?
You were never wondering that.
Of course I was. Why is this guy? Why is this guy somehow just unbreakable? He's completely invincible, and he's the only person ever in history to be invincible. That's just, come on, that's silly. Why is that? It was me, and this to me revealed some answers. It opened up that universe a little bit more for me. I will say this: at times the movie convinced me that it was all because I'm looking for the twist the whole time. You expect it, right?
Okay.
I was looking to see, are they going to just be it's all in their heads at the end? That's where I thought they were going with it. And so during the convincing part, hey, you didn't actually bend steel. I didn't really buy it, but I started to a little bit. I was like, oh my God, they actually go that route. And I'm glad they didn't, obviously. But then when they pulled it all together, she was trying to do the humane thing of just convincing them. They go, oh, okay. And they go on with their lives versus well, we have to get rid of them. So I was fine with that. Now, yes, the movie had its problems. Not saying it didn't. All right. It's probably not going to be a 7 for me tomorrow. I'll probably dump it down maybe a half a point or so. But I still was entertained through the whole thing. I'm sorry.
I wasn't.
You just hated this movie, didn't you?
I didn't despise it, but it was a below average movie. I thought it
average.
tried to do too much. I don't know, just a lot of things I just didn't buy. And
you needed more Samuel Jackson screen time, certainly. I mean, he was not in it enough. Split was in it way too much.
And I don't know, it's because maybe this movie came out, well, I mean, Split came out 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And maybe it's just because did he actually have this written up and this whole thing in mind? Or did he like finish it and then he came up? Like,
apparently he had written a trilogy way back in the day.
It just felt like, to me, it could have been so much better. Maybe he just needed to just rearrange the movie a bit and like add in some other scenes.
It did feel
maybe
like
I would have been
short.
fine with everybody dying, but just certain things felt too quick. Other things felt like it was just dragging on.
I didn't like how it was all essentially shot in one street downtown, and then the rest of it was all in the hospital, and that was it. Yeah. I wanted them to expand a little and kind of get out, and I did not like that. I thought that was pretty like, are you trying to save money? Or I get it when you context the story, like he had all the cameras set up, and he couldn't have done that otherwise. But, I
didn't even care for that part at the end.
I did. I thought it was fine. Like that she thought she was smarter, and he was smarter than she was, and
but the whole thing was like, oh, well, just to get it out. Like that was the whole mastermind plan. I mean, I understand. Like that's what he needed to. Like that was his purpose for life. Was that people need to know, or I need to know what my calling is.
Right. He needed to know that he wasn't alone, and that the whole world needed to see this, and that validated him.
But it just didn't. It just felt underwhelming.
It was a little bit, but I still thought it did its job, and I still thought it was entertaining. Yeah, I wouldn't have killed off Bruce Willis, but, I don't think they're going to obviously not going to make any more. It was just the trilogy, and that's it. So I still liked where it went. I still was fine with that.
And maybe, some people can convince me differently, like, oh, no, this is what it really means. Maybe there's going to be, like, an in-depth study that comes out of why this is such a masterpiece. I don't know.
Look.
Maybe it'll bump it up a point for me if I really just see some things, but
I still think, there were some scenes cut out. They jumped into the mental hospital way too quick. They didn't build up the characters enough. That was an issue big time.
Just felt uneven.
A little bit, but I still was entertained. Your complaint is really the third act. You were fine up until that point, right?
Sorta. Yeah. I mean, the first act I was all right with. Second act, I was like, okay, like, what are we doing? The problem is, you see one preview for this movie, and it ruins the whole thing. So the entire time I'm sitting there going, when's he going to get thrown into the water at the end?
Yep.
When's he going to go run across the lawn? And like, I just saw one, it's not like I go out and watch all these previews. I'm talking about going to the movies and you see the preview that comes on before the movie starts.
Yeah.
And you see this and in the back of your head that all these things have to happen. So
it ruined it for me.
It just kind of like took all that away, and I was like, whatever.
I'm glad the Avengers is only showing 20 minutes in the trailers. That's it. The first 20 minutes and nothing else. Brilliant. Hollywood, take a note there, please.
Yeah.
No more.
I think that
should be a rule.
That kind of was another thing of me going, all right, like
you didn't have.
I know what it's getting to. I know he's getting out.
Yeah. Well,
maybe that could have been the second act, and then the third act would have been something whole, like completely different.
That's what I thought was going. Like, how much movie does this have left? Are they going to get out and then escape? And I get where it was going. I would have written a little better, but I'm not a writer. But again, I was entertained. I did like where it ended, sort of. I would have changed a couple of things, but other than that, yes, I would prefer to just being Unbreakable, the end. It didn't need Split and the rest of it. Fine.
Yeah. I kind of wish I didn't see this.
No, I'm fine at wrapping up, and that's interesting.
I kind of wish I just had Unbreakable and just left it.
Well,
that would have been nice for me.
Imagine that in your head. Just how you imagine there's only like the 3 Star Wars and the rest of them don't exist. That's how I treat it, and it helps me sleep at night.
I'll just have to. I'll just have to do that.
Yeah. So again, I don't know. If you want to go see, if you're an Unbreakable fan, you can either take my word for it, download it illegally.